इसको नाम नहीं चेंज कर सकते, वो इसको नहीं दे सकते हैं हम।
So now we will go to the checklist. So Prisma, I think, are we all back to the main room? 29 people are there, so I hope everyone is back. So this is Prisma 2020 abstract checklist. So you can see like they ask for abstract in the form of like title, objective, methods, and results. Then in the results, these are like eligibility criteria, the information sources, risk of bias, and okay, size. Let me increase the size. And then in the results, you can see like total number of included study participants and summaries, the relevant characteristics. Others may funding and registration process. This is for the PRISMA abstract reporting. Then there's another, which is a 27 item for reporting of the systematic review and meta-analysis. So you can see it is writing like, again, it is a 27 point. So title, identify the report as systematic review. So that is a must in title. Abstract, see the PRISMA 2020 for abstract checklist that we have seen. In introduction, you have to write the rationale for review and in explicit statement of the objective or question. So either you can give objective or you can give question. Coming to the methods, you have to specify the inclusion exclusion criteria. Specify all database, register, website, organizations, reference list, and specify the date when each source was last searched or consulted. So you may get these files as a supplementary file. And then search strategy, present the full search strategy for all database, registers, website, including any filters or limits used. Selection process is specify the method used to decide whether a study met the inclusion criteria. How many reviewers screened each record? This is important, two or one or three. Then data collection, specify the method used to collect data from reports, including how many reviewers. The way we have shown you, like at least two reviewers should extract data. Whether they worked independently, any processes or obtaining or confirming data from study investigators. Like we said, if you are not finding any value, you can again mail to the investigator and you can ask for their the data sheet also so that you can analyze. And if applicable, the detail of automation tool used in the process. If you have used AI, again you can report that you have used a particular AI for this process. Like Dr. Arshad was asking, but we don't know any AI for this data extraction. Again, we said that you can take help of Chat GPT, but it makes error many times. So you need to recheck it if you are using AI. And then again, effect measure, specify each outcome of effect measure. Okay, before that, this data items, 10A and 10B, list and define all outcome and then list and define all other variable. Then you have to do on the risk of bias assessment, which method you have used. In risk of bias, we have used the JBI. So if you see JBI, they give number in like yes and no, and then not applicable or probably not clear. So you can give scoring. Like what we did, we gave the score of 1 to all yes, and then we took out the mean of two reviewer, and then we categorize that if a study is getting more than 8 or more than 8, it is of high quality, because they don't quantify. If you see the JBI, they don't give the cutoff. How do you classify a study as a good quality, moderate quality, or low quality? So we have given our own cutoff, like, and that you have to mention that you thought that 8 and above will be a good quality. Let's say 5 to 8 will be of moderate, and less than 5 is a poor quality. So that cutoff you can use to rate the risk of bias, the quality of study using the risk of bias tool. Then coming to the synthesis method, you can see this describe the processes used to decide which studies were eligible for each, like tabulating the study intervention characteristics and comparing. Describe the methods required to prepare the data for presentation or synthesis. If there is a handling of some missing data is there, or data conversion, like in our case, we have converted the days into hours. So if you need to convert any of this data, you can write that. Describe any method to tabulate, visually display results, any method to synthesize result or provide a rationale for choices. Similarly, you have to comment on the reporting bias assessment. Reporting bias is basically, let's see, any method used to assess risk of bias due to missing result. And again, describe any method to assess certainty or confidence in the body of evidence of an outcome. That also you have to do. Then again, study selection. This is the result. This you can see, like result, present assessment of risk of bias, cite each included study and present its characteristics. For all outcome, present for each study, summary statistics for each group. This is for the table, Excel sheet which you make. This is basically, they are giving the brief guideline for that. And then in discussion, this discussion should be written under these 4 headings. Provide a general interpretation of the result in the context of other evidence. So in that case, for 23A, you need the evidence of other systematic review. So that's why you should have the systematic review and meta-analysis of the same topic, which you are doing, to give your comment or your discussion point. Then discuss any limitation of evidence included in the review. So you can write that any limitation of the review processes. So you can write like maybe how you dealt with the consensus, it took time, or maybe, they were not motivated, and all those things you can discuss. And then we will discuss what we faced when we were doing it. Then discuss implications of the result. Then you have to see like how it can be used in evidence-based medicine, like for policy, practice and future research. The other information which you have to give is regarding the registration and protocol, any funding source, financial or non-financial support for review, and then competing interest and availability of data, code, other material you have to give it in the supplementary file so the other people can see it. So this is a 27-point checklist. It is exhaustive and you need to sit and do it. Like it takes time. So we will share our experience because we were receiving this request of conducting a meta-analysis, but formally we are also not trained in this process, because our country generally we all are left to learn on our own. There is no particular during our PG days or also even the senior residency, no such curriculum is there so that we can learn. So we were also thinking of doing it, but we kept postponing it, and then ultimately we thought one day like let's do it. So remember, we thought in 2021 also we registered with Prospero, but we could not do it. Then again we got this registration of this new project. So this we started as this was the research question which we selected, which was the association between the ambient air pollution and attention deficit reactivity disorder, hyperactivity disorder in children, a systematic review and meta-analysis. So the problem started with the selection of research question. So we selected because that time we were not very clear how to select, and Cochrane handbook is very huge. You should read that, but again it takes time to read that. So, and we were postponing our meta-analysis and systematic review, so we thought let's do it in whatever way. So we started with this question. Again, there was an issue with this question. If you see that it is very broad. If you see air pollution has got so many air pollutants. It has got organic, it has got unorganic, it has got particulate matter, it has got a gaseous again subdivided into, organic and inorganic. So when we selected this, we did not review literature thoroughly. And we selected this. Again, if you see the ADHD also, the spectrum is very huge. I mean, very wide. It is like diagnosed by parent, it is diagnosed by teacher, it is diagnosed by clinician, by psychologist. So there are 4 kind of people who are diagnosing it, and scales are like also very much varied, starting from DSM-4, DSM-5, corner stage, and there were too many scales of diagnosing this attention deficit hyperactivity. Then there were many people who have like defined this attention deficit separately, hyperactivity separately. So then we had to consult Dr. Rajiv, who was a psychiatrist, and we included. So initially, me and Dr. Shamshad started, but then we were having difficulty since all these clinical definition. Then we consulted Dr. Rajiv and we included him in the team. And then again, we included Dr. Naveen, was there Dr. Arun also in the team, because that review process and the risk of bias, again, it was taking time. So again, when you are including these members, you have to go and update it in the Prospero, the way I have suggested, because initially when you register, you may register with 2 or 3 people, but later when you uh, like find new people who can be a part of your study, you can go and update it in the Prospero. So that we updated later on. And again, we have updated the definitions also later on. Initially, when we have done it, it was a very broad. And then we have taken this definition, like we have taken the World Health Organization definition of ambient air pollution, which focused on like PM10, PM2.5, carbon monoxide, ozone, NO2, and SO2. And again, but it was, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 exposures. So it was very broad. Now, the most difficult part was the search. When we started searching for this in way back, I think when we started?
Last year of it.
Last year.
Great.
So we started in April. And
Last year.
many people were discussing that it's a tedious task. We do agree. So we did some search and then we were busy, we left it. Again, then we started. So we kept doing in between search, but we were not very organized, you can say, because that background, how should we do it, that was also not there with us. So we were like confused how to do that. We have read few books, we have seen some videos, and then we started doing that. So the search strategy, what we have identified initially, we have tried to make it in the Word document, which one of the participant was also saying that we can develop the search strategy on the Word file, but it is a mess. If you do it in Word, if you by mistake, even if you miss one syntax, like one bracket, you will not get your required number of result. So we had a tough time. Then we thought that let's do it directly on the database. And when we started directly doing on the database, then it was like a more. Then we refer to the few systematic review of the Cochrane also, and we have seen that they also do it like each and every term in one time. So each search one time. They don't merge the search strategy at Word and then they search. No, that's not a right way. What we have experienced, maybe I don't know. If you start doing it, you can see. But what we recommend from our this thing, the way we have told you, each and every concept first enter it as a mesh and then as a keyword. Similarly, try to have initial too many keywords from all database and then run that database, that keywords in all the database. Okay. So we kept adding terms in database and then reviewing our research. So that took the most of our time, this searching, because we were not, it was like a Alice in Wonderland. We were like confused, or I don't know. It was a very tough time. Then we decided, no, at least we have to do it. So then we developed this, and then ultimately, and there was again a long gap between registration and initiation of review. So we got this registered, I think, in 2022. And we completed just 1 month back, 2024. So it took 2 years. We started 1 year later, the after the registration. So you will see that many times you register, but to maintain this sustainable effort, it takes energy and time and a lot of motivation. So that was again one of our. And in the meantime, when we got registered, there were very few meta-analysis at that time. But since we were delayed, so in between, in 2023, 3 meta-analysis and systematic review, it got published. And then we thought, oh my God, we have registered so early, but we could not do the work. So the other people, they have published. And that sort of thinking was there. Like they did it earlier than us. So probably then we started. And then there was you can see this, there was a wide range of effect size in the study selected. Many people, that has given as the pool effect not pool, I mean the outcome as a standardized mean ratio. Many author they have given it in the form of a hazard ratio. Many author have given it in the form of a relative risk. Few have given it in the form of a odds ratio. So there was a quite heterogeneity. So what we did, so we have considered, since the ADHD incidence is very low, we have pooled this OR and RR together in one meta-analysis, and we reported HR separately. And again, we have used a random effect model because we knew by that time that since there is a lot of heterogeneity, so we have used this random effect model. We have searched some gray literature, but we have not included that gray literature in our PRISMA. So if you see, it only tells you about the database and the registers. Again, this decision of fixed versus random effect, I said that generally we have gone for the random effect, but for this, when you apply the fixed effect, your confidence interval gets narrows. So that's why you will see many meta-analysis that works on fixed effect just to narrow their confidence interval. But we were not very clear regarding the concepts, regarding the application of fixed and random. That's why we took this decision, which was not a correct decision. And again, you can see here that another line we had to add, which we don't get in the gem movie. So like, let's say in hazard ratio, gem movie, we this blue line. Okay. Okay, I'll see that here also we can see. Here you see that this heterogeneity statistics we presented like this because there was a less space. Again, you can decide. And this dotted line, you have to add it manually over the Word, Microsoft Word, or wherever you paste this diagram, because GemMovie doesn't give this null value of 1. And again, this risk and no risk, these two arrow, you have to add. After like more than 1 is a risk and less than 1 is not a risk, that you have to add because that is not there in the GemMovie. In the result section, the way we have asked you to do it, like review the study characteristics critically, we could not do it because at that time we were not very clear. So that's why we reported individual study by seeing the other people meta-analysis. But then later we had gone through the Cochrane, and then we saw that it should be reviewed critically. So that was again one mistake which we did. And this I have shown you regarding plotting of an additional, because Jamovi gives this 0. But this 0 for in case of a relative risk or odds ratio, we take 1. So you have to draw one line here and again increase and decrease risk. So this was some of the lesson learned from our systematic review. So since we have learned a lot of lesson in first, probably we will definitely improve in the second one. So this was from our side. Now it's your turn. Your turn means before I conclude, I think you all should just post one clap for Dr. Akash Janwar and for Swapnil. Because these two, they are the PG residents from our department. And these two people have helped us a lot in creating content, in, generating the Excel sheet, putting the data over the Excel sheet, and, all the PowerPoint and all. So I think we all should give, there's a way of writing clap. Yes, so Dr. Ananya has given one clap. Yes, all should, at least whosoever is present here, you should clap for special thanks to Akash and Swapnil. Without them, like it, because creating content is also like the way how this workshop flow will go, they have helped us a lot. That's why we were this time, a little bit relaxed, although we were conducting this SRMA for the first time. And it was a challenge for us too, believe us. It was not very easy for us because that it's a conduction as well as doing. Both the process is tedious. So that's why special thanks to them and to other mentors also. Like thanks to Anand, thanks to, let me see, Arun, Haripriya, Rajat. Yes, Rajat, he is always there. And let me see the names because people, there were Saket, he said, but I think he could not join. Rajat was there, I think. Dr. Ekta and whosoever, and Dr. Parvati too. Yes, thanks Parvati, because I don't know whether she is not here right now because there is a PG seminar going on in our department. Probably she has joined, she had to join that. But Dr. Parvati also helped us a lot. Yes, so we want some feedback from you guys since we have conducted this for the first time, and in the future we will keep on conducting. But we want a fair review from your end. Uh, how we could improve this in the future workshop so that the learning curve should be easy and like maybe you will get a gist of this. Yes, I need a fair response from you guys. So you can, like, all of you can unmute, and if you say it, that would be very nice. Because that written, it's of no use. But I think that it's of no use because whatever you say, that's important for us. Yes, anyone?
And it was a wonderful workshop. We did not know we can use Jumpy in this way also, meta analysis. Now you are obviously fabulous, and the entire team is fabulous. We're looking forward to more workshops like this, specifically the R, which is still unexplored.
Okay.
Thank you.
So can you add something like how we can improve anything, any point, learning lesson for us? Any topic which you think that could be elaborated or maybe which you faced difficulty? Okay. If you're not thinking, maybe you can write to us. Anybody else?
Ma'am, can I speak?
Yeah, please, Dr. Hariprasad.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, congrats to the team for organizing this. Actually, it was almost well conducted. Actually, I was also new to this meta-analysis and everything. So the way you conducted was very nice, and the gray literature part, press checklist, I think almost everything was covered nicely. And I think you can add on different types of systematic reviews as when we go through many NEGM or something like that. There is something like nested analysis, some Bayesian analysis, some things like that also happening. So we can add on this in the future workshop. There are different types of systematic reviews that can be added. And the other thing is this, apart from Ryan, you have said regarding other tools also. So you can just show the other, just have a glimpse of other tools, like this is the tool and this costs this much, at least uh, the interface of it, so that it will be easy for us to, for somebody to search and check like that. Then yeah, it was well conducted. Uh, could you share this Excel sheets to us? It will be very nice. And
Everything will be shared. Don't worry for that. We will share whatever we have shown, everything will be shared to you. We have shared many, but if we have left on some like sharing folders or something or the files, we will share. And thank you. Your all points are well taken. We have written that. And probably in the future, we will show you the other interface like RevMan and probably the Covidence and Hub Meta. We did it on Hub Meta. That is a free software. So we can show you on that also.
yes.
And there's a comprehensive meta-analysis CMA package. So we will show you on that also. But for that, we need to increase the duration because it's only 5 days. So probably we are planning to conduct it for 2 days in a week. So that for the next one, so that you will have a breathing space and you people can conduct, because you see that on one day there are more people. As we advance, the number of people keep on decreasing, probably because of it's a festival time and everybody is busy in their own life. But we are planning to conduct it like twice, 2 days in 1 week, so that activity time you will get ample time in conducting the activity.
Yeah, I was again adjusting my duty for this. Getting
Yeah,
it.
we are sorry for that, but this is we understand this and hope we will conduct this periodically in like 2 days in a week or something like that, so that you can adjust more conveniently. So thank you, Doctor.
Another thing I need to add is if once everything is covered, but this writing part, how can we improve that? If we go through the American articles will be very much that their way of presentation will be without any grammatical mistake or plagiarism. So when we start with this writing up everything, I'm pretty sure there will be some plagiarism or grammatical mistakes. So many of the journals will first of all flag this and say improve it like that. So next time we can add a little time for this also, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think Dr. Akash is writing like there is a one website, SciSpace, okay, where we can extract data. That's good.
Recently check करना.
Like we have not probably checked it, but again, since it is there in the chat box, so you guys can see and check it. Dr. Sipra is saying thank you to the entire team. I could not attend. Okay, Debashis, thank you, the entire team. Okay, thank you. Any other comment? Can I see any other? No, anything to improve upon? Okay.
Madam, good evening, madam. I'm Dr.
Roger.
Yes, madam. I'm Dr. Rajsekhar. I'm not belongs to this medical sciences. I'm actually faculty working in UG college. I teach for degree students.
Okay.
Actually, I saw some papers regarding meta-analysis. Actually, I used to work on genomic databases, where we also use the same similar method of meta-analysis for grouping the results of previous research studies. So, but I did not have idea that we could use even the meta-analysis for this physiological data and this clinical data and all. So I saw few papers and I came to know from one professor who is working in Central University. Then I have searched for the workshops and I saw your advertisement on the website and I requested for joining to this workshop, and this workshop helped me a lot to understand what are the components that are that comes under this systematic review and meta-analysis, madam. Even still there are some things which I could not understand properly because I'm very new for this. Probably after reading or after paying some attention, I may understand better. So I'm looking forward to even join in the next workshop that you will conduct. Thank you so much, madam, for the wonderful information that you have given in through last 5 days. Thank you so much, madam.
Well said. And thank you so much for joining. And I hope these things, since it takes time to cement in your brain and in your concepts. So 5 days are not enough. So don't think that you have not understood. You have started understanding, the more we all, it's not only you, even we. The more we do, the more we will understand. So there's no difference. We will all collaboratively, we will learn and we'll grow.
And one more suggestion, madam, that in the next workshop, you could show a few systematic literature reviews of the studies where how they have searched and what are the outcomes they have measured and such things, so that we could take comprehensive idea. I think so, madam.
Okay, sure. We have made a point. We have your points are well taken, and we'll show definitely in the next workshop. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Can I speak?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I am Dr. Shraddhanjali. I am a pathologist from AIIMS New Delhi. I also came upon, I knew about you from one of my friends. She is a faculty at AIIMS Nagpur right now in pharma. And we were planning to do a meta-analysis. So I joined this workshop and it has been very excellent. But as many people have said, it does need a lot of time to, like, we have to try and understand. So that part, I think we can, if you will consider, then you can extend the duration and do it in short courses over a month or so. And that would help, I guess.
Yeah, we are planning because it's, we have understood, but and we will allot more time so that it will be a slow learning, but definitely a better learning.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, also there were some certain points regarding PATH in the sense that we don't have a definite diagnostic criteria for lots of definitions and lots of diagnosis. We don't have a laid down like point wise, like if you have diarrhea for 5 days or so, we don't have any guidelines for that. So what would be the, how would you create the questions in those cases?
Okay, so what we have planned on, because Dr. Arpan was also saying on the first day regarding the anatomy. So what we have planned that we will take few questions from each of these specialty, because currently, since we are working in public health, so I might
Yes,
not be able to think. So probably let us also work on research questions specific to probably the lab sciences and probably the basic sciences, and then
yes,
we
ma'am.
could add more. So we are planning to have such research questions also, so that like all kind of participants, they will be benefited. It's not only
Sure.
public health or the clinical specialty.
Also, a second point in that key, currently I was what we had planned for a head and neck pathology to do a meta-analysis on head and neck pathology. So our term for head and neck stays as head and neck, but many people don't use it per se. Like while using your strategies, what you taught us, I started searching for head and neck. So the mesh term is giving me a different number of articles. Then when I'm doing a title and abstract, they are combining head and neck or head and then it is combining neck and cancer and giving me a different number of like these will be the so how do I go about for the correction of that?
So in that case, when it is coming too broad, then you are the best judge to see like which, because ultimately it should be used in the evidence-based medicine,
Yes, ma'am.
whatever practice.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the moment you make your question very broad, then it will be difficult even if you give the pooled result. So I think as a pathologist, it is only the you who will decide like what congregation or what accumulation or pooled result will help the others, because of course there
Okay,
will
ma'am.
be ambiguity, then only you have planned for a
Yes,
meta-analysis.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you have to like pinpoint those ambiguity and then see like where you can improve upon if you do a meta-analysis. Specific, probably even currently I will not be able to tell, but general, since you
Yes,
always
ma'am.
keep in mind that your study should lead to some practice change in the
Yes,
your
ma'am.
fraternity.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, one more question, last question is that will you, Samshad sir, will be available for if we have any further queries like down the
Yes,
line
yeah,
when we have doubts, we can connect with you.
definitely. You may not get the answer immediately,
Yes,
but
ma'am. Yeah,
yes,
that is sure, sure. That is understood,
by
ma'am.
the end of the day, definitely
Yes, ma'am.
you will get the answer.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you. It was an excellent session.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Ma'am, one more suggestion, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Actually, we can increase this. We can take this workshop as the step 1. We can move to the step 2 as like around 29 people are here. So we can devise some research question
Yes,
for a common group. And
very
if we
right.
start working as a group, the thing will be better. But that time, the thing will be for we will create the timeline, how to create a timeline, everything that we will get to know better. But if we work as a
True.
group,
True. So I
so
thought like one day the same idea clicked to my mind. Like let's say the people who are motivated till now, maybe towards the end, or maybe other also, since all of you are on the same page, so you people can create a group like because getting a review team is also like making a team is also not that easy. So if by this time you know like all of yours interest, and probably you can make a team of like 4 5 people, if not four, at least even three if you can make. And then, so do you want us to take the lead and start with the review question, or you guys can do it yourself? I wasn't, because I thought maybe if we start, then I don't know how you people will perceive it, like what is my motive of like doing such activity or something like that. So that's why I stopped, but this is a good idea, Dr. Hari, I do agree. But how to take this forward, probably we will also think. Dr. Shamshad, do you have to say anything?
डिस्कशन एक बार
So we can also do some discussions.
उन्होंने पूरा पार्टिसिपेट किया 5 दिन
Yeah, at least the people who have participated, or at least they have seen the video and are motivated to work. So probably we can, like, whatever we know, we can guide, and you people can work as a small team, and then we can help you out in just providing the support till the final conduction.
चलो
Okay. Any other response?
And one thing I wanted to ask that this the heterogeneity what we are getting in cases in wherever we are getting meta-analysis में heterogeneity more than 50% or very high, how to explain that heterogeneity?
That you have to go and see the study characteristics, because ultimately that will explain. You can see the participants' characteristics, their age group, the intervention, all that pie chart, you have to see it individually.
Or is there any further analysis which explains why the heterogeneity was?
No. You just explain on the basis of the pie chart.
Okay. Okay.
आ जाओ
Okay, so thank you everyone. We are closing this regarding the certificates. Certificate will be, I think there will be 10 questions now.
अभी देखते हैं उसको
Okay, we have not decided. So we will convey you how you can get the certificate.
बाद में इसको
Okay, we will include the sensitivity and subgroup. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hari. Thank you, everyone. Now we are closing from our end.